Howdy y'all, welcome back to the Social Regressive. Today I'm going to be knocking down some steel targets out there using this suite of equipment that you see right here. Not just a scope, we're going to be using some things to help us get on target. Let's see how we do. What we're using today is the whole Horus Hover System, HOVR. So that includes the scope that you see right here, but it also includes an app that I have here on my phone. It's a ballistics app that not only handles your average ballistics, but it actually grabs data off these guys right here. So I have not just a wind meter in this hand, this is a whole weather station. This is gonna tell me all kinds of data about what the wind is doing and just what the barometric pressure is. And this guy right here, laser rangefinder. So the first thing I'm gonna do, now that I have the app open, is I'm gonna find myself a target. So first step, all right, there we go, 216.5 yards in here. And the cool thing is, once I have grabbed a target, the app pops up and says, hey, I see you got a new target here. You want to save it? And it's going to grab everything. It actually has the inclination angle, how much lower or higher I'm aiming. This tells me that I'm aiming down. And it tells me the range, 216.53 yards. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and save this. That is my new target. So you could use this if you have a whole bunch of animals that you may be dealing with. Maybe situations change as you're out hunting hogs or something. You can quickly change which kind of target you're dealing with. All right, so there's my target. And I want to know what's going on with our atmospherics today. And this is going to grab everything. It's going to get temperature, it's going to get humidity. So here we go. I'm going to tell it to capture the atmospherics. And there it is. There's my new atmospherics. Wind speed of 5.86 miles per hour. And I'm aiming it roughly into the wind. The rifle is actually pretty much pointed into the wind right now. We just get a little bit from the left. Now this is only part of the wind. I'm grabbing what we have right here, but of course I'm looking for what's happening further out in the field to get a full picture. Now, once I have all this, I have it all saved. I have a firing solution now at this distance on this target, and it'll actually show me where I should aim with the rifle scope. So I have my ballistics in here, and it's telling me to pretty much just true up as far as windage goes, and then aim a 1/2 mil high. So let's see if they're right. Gall darn prairie chickens coming around eating my corn. Okay, so out there I am reading a boiling mirage, occasionally a little bit from the left, maybe up to 5 miles an hour. I'm just gonna zero out. Oh yeah. All right, now that was only 200 meters. So that's as easy as it gets. Let's see if we can get the next target. 320.4. All right, save that target. And around here, the wind changes fast. Let's see if it's keeping up with what it was doing before. Pretty much the same. And we have a new solution, 1.2 milliradians up, and we are pretty much staying the same on wind. Let's see how the wind is doing out there. Yeah, out there we definitely have some left to right. We're stepping back, so now I'm going to collect the new atmospherics. Let's see what we're working with. Yeah, there we go, 94.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind speed of 5.59 miles per hour, and this time it has completely switched and it's coming from my back. But we're going to see what it's doing out there. Mostly I've been seeing a left-right. Take a peek. All right, my target is... There we go, 407.92 yards. That's some pretty good precision there. I need to hold up 1.8 milliradians, and I'm gonna have a windage of 0.1. But let's see what the wind is actually doing out there. Yeah, we definitely have some left-right going on. Okay, that looks solid right down the middle of it. That's one of the wonderful things, even though the wind meter was telling me that, really the wind, or where I am right now, the wind is to my back or to my face. Out there, it's totally different. It is coming from the left to the right. And if I can read that using the excellent optics in this scope, I can actually see all the distortion, see exactly what direction it's going. And if I can use those wind dots in the Tremor 5 to hold off, which is exactly what I did. I just held the first dot over to the right, so I was holding left, and then yeah, it just seemed to sail right into the center of the target. Now, our final target, a little bit further out. I'm reading 586, which is surprising. It's supposed to be about 550, but it's good to know the actual distance. On my phone, every so often the app is locking up and I'm having to restart it. Works great, but if you let it sit too long, it seems to go to sleep. And one thing that happens when you disconnect is that these kind of go to sleep too. So it's really good for getting that one target locked in, but you better be pretty quick on getting the next one or just kind of restart everything. There we go, 586.1. Now this is another one. When I had to shut down the app, it lost connection to this, so I had to turn this off and turn it back on again. Thankfully, it boots really quickly. So here we go. I have the new atmospherics. Again, the wind is pretty much from right behind me, very light. My new solution is 3.3 mils of elevation, and then hold off 0.1 for wind. But again, I'm gonna read the wind out there. The wind here doesn't really matter. Oh, the wind has dropped away. I can see some fluff on the breeze though. It's moving very slowly. I'm gonna hold off a half one of these wind dots. So there's 3.3 of elevation. Wow, this is really calming down. Oh, dead center, I saw that. And that is just how easy it is to use these products all together. Now remember that the scope itself is just a beast in its own right. If you want to go out with a rifle and just this scope, we're talking about being able to deal with kind of anything out there. You can easily range using the scope. You can get your windage. You can, of course, read the wind that's going out there before you actually adjust for it. If you want to dial your elevation, you can, but remember that this reticle is designed to kind of be locked down, and that's why this turret right here, the windage turret, is actually under a cap. They expect that you're just going to lock it down and not mess with it ever again. If anything, you will adjust this one maybe for some kind of extreme long shot, but this is really designed for these medium ranges, kind of to medium long, and this is going to be able to make very precise hits on whatever you want at whatever distances. At a 5 to 20 magnification range that we have here, you could use this on prairie dogs to great effect. I would love to use this out varminting, so like groundhogs. This would be good for maybe not deer so much unless you're maybe out west. It's just kind of a bigger, heavier scope overall with that 50 millimeter objective. But hey, if you are out west, okay, this could be a good option. If you hunt antelope, I think this would be a killer scope to drop on here. But then once you throw in the extras here, if you can know exactly how far your target is by using the rangefinder and then coupling it with knowing exactly what's going on in the air around you, yeah, this is a system that really just can't be beat. I think this is a phenomenal way to be able to figure out what your target's doing and be able to put it down very easily. Yeah, this was a little bit of a slow process today because we're kind of jumping around between equipment. But out in the field, if you need to make that precise shot, I think it's just a killer combo. Thanks for watching, you guys. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell down there. I'm going to talk about each of these pieces of equipment kind of by itself. We'll talk a little bit more about the system and how it works. But I wanted you to see how it actually works out in the field here today. and I'm really, really pleased with it. Of course, good rifle, nice to have a good basis going on. And if you want to check out the whole series to see how I put this together, I'll put a link around here. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Even if you didn't like this particular content, go ahead and subscribe. There's probably something coming that's more up your alley. Check out this playlist right here. This is going to have videos in a similar vein to what you just watched. These 2 videos we cherry-picked for you. And finally, The Social Regressive is on Patreon. So you can become a patron of the Destructive Arts and earn some goodies while helping us to provide high-quality videos just by kicking us a few bucks a month. Thanks a bunch for your patronage.